morning. My name is Malin, and I received a couple of. I asked what kind of class you wanted this morning, and some of you said all levels vinyasa, and most of you replied as a power yoga. So I thought today we will add a lot of extra push-ups, some core work. There will be inversions, as usual. You will take them, you can leave them. It all depends on what you want in the practice. I also know that as someone who is pregnant at the moment, and so I brought out a foam roller, right, that you can use. You can also use a pillow. So you just put your hip bones anytime that we are on our bellies. So you just let your belly sort of flow over the foam roller like this. So it gives you that space to be able to be right here. Okay. So just an idea of how we can practice when the belly starts growing. All right, so let's come into a comfortable seat, however that might look like for you. And close your eyes. So start listening into your breath. Drawing your awareness inwards. Setting yourself up for success. You can also find a mantra. Maybe today is a great day. Keep on repeating in your mind. So breathing in, deepening the breath. Start transition to the Ujjayi Pranayama. Seal your lips. Start breathing in and out through the nose. Find a light contraction at the back of the throat, keeping the inhale consistent to your exhale. Engage the pelvic floor for your Mula Bandha. And then draw the navel to the spine, your Udayana. Open up your eyes and roll over onto your hands and knees, coming into all fours for tabletop. Keep your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. And then drop the belly towards the floor. Tailbone up, widening through the collarbones. Lift the chin from the chest. Exhale, round your spine. Press the mat away from you, chin to the chest. Look between your legs. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round. Two more. This cat-cow is strong. Really using your core muscles. Come back into a neutral spine. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up for downward facing dog. Spread your fingers wide, lift your kneecaps. Roll your armpits in. Inhale, lift high up onto your tippy toes, and then exhale, bring your heels over towards the right, and try to ground the outer part of your right foot and your heel. And then press your hips a little bit higher. Roll your left armpit in, stretching into the side of your left leg, into the left side from the hip, up towards the rib cage. Inhale, come back up through center. Exhale, heels over towards the left. Same thing here. Inhale, come back up through center. Shift forward into a high plank. Hold it here. You can always bring your knees down if you prefer. Hips are neutral, heels are reaching back, look straight down. And again, press the mat away from you. We breathe. Belly in. Exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Untuck your toes. Hands under the shoulders, lift yourself up for cobra. Keep pressing the tops of the feet, pubic bone, elbows bend, and then pull yourself. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up, all fours, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing. Inhale, come forward into a high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels, walk your feet forward, coming all the way towards the top of the mat. Keep your feet hip width apart. Look between your legs. Let your belly rest onto your thighs. Take the hands to your elbows. Let the gravity do the work, making you feel heavy. And let your hands down. Slowly, gently start rolling up along your spine. Coming all the way up into Samastiti. Hands by your side. Inhale, reach your arms up and over, bring your palms together, and interlace your hands, letting your index finger point straight up. So bring your hands by the ears, and then get your hips nice and neutral, grounding the soles of the feet into the mat. Exhale over towards the left hip, shifting the hips to the right. Spin your chest open. Inhale, come back up through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, come back up through center. Exhale, release your hands down towards the mat. Look between your legs. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana, belly in. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet to plank pose. Hold it here. All right, you can always bring your knees down. So we're going to do 3 push-ups from here. So exhale, lower down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Last time, exhale. Come to the tops of the feet. Legs are strong. Heart moves forward. Press into the index finger. Exhale, lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Now we breathe for 5. Legs are strong. Heels are reaching back. Belly in. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root to rise, reach your arms up and over your head, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands by your side, Samastiti. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back, bend your knees, roll your heart open. Exhale, hinge at your hips and fold. Take your hands down to the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet to Chaturanga. Lower down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Last time, Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe for 5. 4. Rotate your tailbone up. 3. 2. And 1. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, reach your arms over your head, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands by your side, Samastiti. One more time. Inhale, arm comes up. Exhale, fold. Getting into the hip, inhale, half lift. Plant your right hand, inhale, left arm comes up, reach your hip back, spin the chest open, take your hand down and then switch. Inhale, left. Exhale, hand comes down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hand, step it back, Chaturanga. Inhale, up, plank pose, lower down. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Heels are reaching back. And breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, right leg lift. Stack your hip open, roll your ankle, open, closing your knee. Make hip movements in your. Stand your foot to the back of the mat, exhale, knee to the chest, come forward. Bring your knee to the right tricep. Inhale, lower it to your right wrist. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale, lower. Bring it to your armpit, lift it up. Lower it down. 2 more. Inhale up, or exhale. Inhale, lower. Good. Lower it down. Bring it back up. 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the chest, step your foot through between your hands, and lower your left knee and the top of the foot down. Right, the beauty of having my dogs. Right, slowly, gently. Eddie, come in. Okay. Go up into Anjaneyasana. Stretching out your hip flexor. Inhale, reach your arms up. But he needs to go to his work. Just with my husband. Hey, Gary. Keep lifting through the heart. And then exhale, take your hands down, shift it back for half split. Fold over the front leg, belly in. Good. Inhale, come forward. Frame your front, tuck your toe, step it back, plank pose. Lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Last time, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Open mouth, let it go. Good. Inhale, left leg lifts. Stack your hip, roll your ankle, knee, and your hip. Extend your foot to the back of the mat. Exhale, knee to the chest. Bring your knee to your armpit left. Lower it down to the wrist. Bring it up. Lower it down. Bring it back up. Lower down. Good. 2 more. Feeling your obliques. Last one. 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the chest. Step your foot through, and then lower your right knee and the top of the foot. The toe points forward, knees over the ankle. And then from here, you start rising up, belly in. Bring your hands up. Lift through the heart, stretching into that right hip. Ooh. Take your hands down, shift it back, half split. Fold over the front leg. Inhale, come forward, plant your hands, step to plank pose. Lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale up, lower down. Inhale up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now stay. Listen into the breath. Maybe find your mantra again. Today is an awesome day. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your arms up and over. Exhale, hands by your side. Samastiti. Right, Surya Namaskara. B. I'm going to do them 3 times. Right, just a very traditional breath to movement. Find your neutral hips, shoulder blades back. Lift your gaze, exhale, bend your knees, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, plant your hands, Chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left heel down. Right foot forward. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Exhale, hand comes down. Step to plank. Lower down. Inhale up. Lower down. Inhale up. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right heel down, left foot forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hand comes down. Step into plank. Lower down. Inhale up. Lower down. Inhale up. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. This one, take your knees down. Shift your hips to child's pose. Feel how your heart and forehead is moving towards the earth. You can close your eyes, listen into your breath. Three more. Last one. And then come up into all fours. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Big toes together, bend your knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Come to standing. Samasthiti. Good. Bend your knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, step to plank. Lower down. Inhale up. Lower down. Inhale up. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Left heel down, right foot forward. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Exhale, hand comes down to plank. Lower down. Remember, you can take your knees down. Up. Lower down. Up. Ooh. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Right heel down, left foot forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands down, step to plank. Lower down. Up. Lower down. Up. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time, come down to your forearms, down dog B. Or child pose. Heels are reaching back, pressing into your forearms, spreading your fingers, lift your kneecaps. Slow down your breath. Return to your hands. Find your breath again. Lift your heels, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Big toes together, bend your knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Come to standing. Samasthiti. Right, so we're going to do this one more time. When we come to the first side, to warrior one, right, we're going to actually stay. We're going to build from there, right? Setting up the sequence. I'm going to turn the other way, actually. So just be with me. You stay the way you are. Here we go. Find your breath. Bend your knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hand to plank pose. Lower down. Inhale. Lower down. Inhale up. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left heel down, right foot forward. Toe points forward. Knees over the ankle. Draw your hip back. Right, legs up, belly in, hold your hips together, arm comes up, warrior one. Breathe. Relax the shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Straightening out your front knee. Right, spin your back heel back. Right, open up your hip to the long side of the mat. Bend your knee. Knees over the ankle. Back foot is slightly angled in. Legs are strong. Pull your hips together, and then arm comes out. For Virabhadrasana B, relax the shoulders down. Steady gaze. 5, 4. Feel your oneness. 3, 2, and 1. Either forearm onto the thigh or take your hand down. Reach your left arm towards the front of the mat. And spin your heart open. Look underneath your arm, away from the chest, and find that good reach. Keep pulling heels together, belly in. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Look down. Inhale, rise. Virabhadrasana B again. Straightening out your front knee. You might want to wiggle your back foot in a little bit. Reach forward. Take your hand down. Right, anywhere you can feel that length over your right leg. It doesn't have to come all the way down to the mat. Keep lengthening yourself forward, bringing that left hip bone open. Keep the left hand up. Spin your heart open. Shin for the chest again. You may look up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Look down. Inhale, come all the way up. Right. And then turn your back foot in, hands to the hips. Take your hands down, elbows back, lift up, exhale, fold. Take your hands underneath your shoulders for Prasarita. Inhale, half lift. Rock the weight into the balls of the feet. Right, press into the other part. So rotate your tailbone up. Exhale, drop the head down. Look between your legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hands back underneath the shoulders. Inhale, half lift. Walk your hands to frame your right foot. Step your left foot in, heel to heel alignment, and then square your hips out. Press into the ball of your right foot. Find your length and exhale. Fold over the front leg. Make sure that your thighs, your quads are engaged. Be mindful of your hamstrings. Inhale, half lift. Take your left hand to the shin. You can come to your foot or maybe outside. Right hand to the hip. If you're wondering, my dogs, they are guard dogs. They 5 pounds, but they are very scary. Press into your left hand, start twisting, floating your top hand up. Maybe the gaze follows. Again, legs are strong for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hands down, frame your foot. Right, bend into the right knee. Come up onto the ball of your left foot. So now again, the knees over the ankle. Inhale, rise up just for a moment into Chandrasana, high lunge. Let your arms stay up by the ears. Right, and then reach forward into Virabhadrasana 3. Find your balance. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, rise up into one-legged Tadasana. Take your right hand to take these fingers around your left big toe. Maybe you extend your foot out as much as possible. Drop the hip down. Find that lift. Repeat the Hasta Pandavusasana. In 5, 4, let it go, hands to the hip, and then float your foot back. Let your hands stay to the hip, coming back into Virabhadrasana. Inhale, rise. If you can, keep your left leg extended and lift it up. Exhale. Inhale, come up. Exhale, float it back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, float it back. One more time. Feeling your right glute. Float it back to warrior three. Step your left foot back. Inhale, arm comes up. Back to Ashtachandasana. Exhale, hand comes down. Step to plank. Lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Lower down, Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now stay there for a couple of breaths. This will actually feel really nice. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to the chest. Take your shin, thigh, and sit bone down. You can also come into figure four. Just stretching out that glute a little bit. Make sure your left leg comes straight out of the hip. And then you start folding forward. Ooh. Ekapadarasha Kapotasana prep. Two more breaths. Come back up onto your hands. Tuck your left toe, lift your knee, inhale, right leg up and back. Stack your hip open. Press evenly into both hands. And then take your foot down. Take a breath in through the nose. Open mouth, let it go. Good. Bring your right heel down, left foot between your hands. Inhale, rise up, warrior one again. Right. So toe points forward, hips back, arm comes up. Shift your gaze. Pressing into the back edge of your right foot, lower extend. 3 more breaths. Open up into warrior two, Virabhadrasana B. So sit down deep, right, drop that right hip. Pull your heels together, tailbone is underneath you, steady gaze, relax the shoulders. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So either forearm down or take your hand down, right arm to the front. All right, try to get the hip underneath you. Find your good reach. 5, pull your shoulder back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Look down, inhale, rise back up, warrior two. Straightening out your front knee, bring your back foot in a little bit. Right, so the hips opens up to the long side, reach forward, take your hand down, right, above the knee or below. Right, anywhere where you can keep lengthening yourself over the front leg. It's okay if your knee is a little bit bent. Take your right hand up, and back to the breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hand down, right? Let your left foot be right where it's at. Take your hands to the long side of the mat. Turn your right toe to the right corner of the mat, and then start bending into the knee. And then bring your left toe up to the sky, and then come into a little Skandasana seat. You can take your hands up, prayer. Hips can be lifted, the heel can be lifted. But you should be feeling something into the inner thighs. You can use this right elbow to push the knee back, but pay attention to what goes on in your right foot. Take your hands down, inhale, lift your hips. So this time, left toe to the front of the mat, right toe turns up. We're just taking Skandasana on the left side, same thing here. Wherever you feel some sensation, you just breathe into it. Take your hands down, inhale, lift your hips, and then just spin yourself forward. Step your right foot in, square the hips out, so Parsvottanasana. So you want to sort of imagine that you're having a rope that's like pulling your hips back. You're straightening out your front knee as much as possible. You fold over the front leg. And breathe. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, half lift. Right hand, again, can come to the shin, your foot, inside or outside. You can also use your blocks here. Now lengthening yourself forward, you start twisting, taking that top hand up. If it feels okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hands down, frame your foot. Bend into the left knee, come up onto the ball of your right foot. Inhale, rise up to high lunge. Find your balance, hips are neutral, and the core is nice and strong. Bring your arms up. Of course, as Chatarunga, and then start reaching forward, making your way into Warrior 3. Nice and slow. Find a long, energetic line. Try to bring your right hip down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, bring your knee into the chest. Take your right hand, left hand to the hip, peace fingers around your right big toe, and then extend your foot out. When you reach out to the front of the head for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let go of your foot, hands to the hips, and then float it back to Warrior 3. Inhale, rise up. Try to keep your knees straight. Float it back. Come up. Float it back. Inhale, rise. 2 more times. Float it back. Come up. Float your foot back. Step it back. Inhale, rise. Ashtashandrasana. Exhale, hand comes back, down. Step back to plank pose. Lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale up. Chaturanga. Inhale. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to the chest. Take your shin, thigh, and sit bone coming into Ekapada Rasha, Kapotasana. Check in with your back leg. So you can use blocks, pillow, anything to prop yourself up underneath the left hip, and you fold forward. Inhale, come back up onto your hands. Tuck the right toe, lift your knee, inhale, left leg up and back. And then stack your hip open. Woo. Left foot comes down, and then come into tabletop. The knees are under your hips, hands under the shoulders. And drop the belly just like we did in the beginning, tailbone up, cow pose. All right, so with this, you're going to walk your hands forward like we did in child's pose. You can put a head onto a block if you prefer. You can also take your heart down, look between your legs. Anahatasana, puppy pose. And then walk your hands back. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up to downward facing dog. Walk your hands to the back of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, rise all the way up. Coming in to Samastiti, right? So we're going to do a little bit of we've got options, always options, right? So if you have a wall, obviously, and you want to practice your handstands, we're going to take about a minute or so for the next exercise. You can use the wall, so let me see, you can actually see. So I start with my handstand. So if you're using a wall, with me, right, you're going to come to the wall, right? Take your hands about a hand print or so away, right? And you pick up, right? And you can take a foot and see if you can get one foot off the mat. Look towards the crease of your baseboard, hips are neutral. Maybe you can light onto the toe. You have to work your hands. And maybe floating both feet up and you're balancing in your handstand. If you're new, you're going to take, and you still want to work your handstand, you're going to come into down dog like this. Take your foot about as high as your hip. You're going to press into your foot. You can stay here in this L shape. You can take a foot up, press the mat away from you, and you breathe, right? Or you do your handstand in the middle of the room, right? Otherwise, come back to your mat, right? Right foot forward, and you're just going to hop switch like this, right? To get your cardio, right? So for the next minute, go ahead, take whatever that you prefer or you need to practice on. Without expectations. That's the hardest part, right? If you're practicing your handstand, make sure you're using both legs to come up. Then step to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then jump through to a seat. If you can, you will float your feet through, right? And you're going to come in to boat pose Navasana. So you come here, you take your hands, lift your chest, hand comes up, lift your chin, belly in, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross your ankles, hands by your hips, inhale, lift up, lower down. Come back to Navasana, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross your ankles, lift up, lower down, third time, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross your ankles. Now, if you have blocks, you can grab them. You don't have to. Okay? Come on to your chins. Right? You will have, if you have your blocks or your hands onto the mat, right? You decide the height, obviously how you want it to be. You're going to press into your hands. You see how I'm straightening my arms, belly button in, and I'm going to lift my hips and bring my knees to the chest. So I be on my toes, and I lift my heel. I lift my other heel, and then I come down. Whew. Take a moment. All right, now we're going to lift. All right, and we're going to hold it for 5. Take it down, lift, left, hold it for 5, take it down. Okay, you ready? Right, inhale, lift, bring your knee, we breathe 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, inhale, lift, left, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, take a moment. Whew. All right, so you can do that variation one more time, or you can lift both feet up, hovering your shins over the mat, all right? And you hold it for 5, all right? You ready? Good. All right, so here we go. Inhale, lift up. Breathe, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right, move the blocks out of the way. Step to plank pose. Lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your knees down to the mat. All right, so keep your feet hip width apart, and you're going to take a seat between your feet. So if you know that this doesn't feel so great, you can use your block and you can sit like this. Right, so getting this stretch into the shin, and you have this internal rotation. Otherwise, you will take your calf muscles and you're going to externally rotate them out and take a seat between your feet. Right, so you want to try to get your pinky rolling down, inner thighs rolls in, right, and you sit up. All right, so wherever you are, take your wrists. I've done a lot of push-ups. Maybe make those little waves. And then shake them out. We're pretty much done on our hands now. Take the hands behind you, lift your tailbone, and then tuck it under, and then lower down. Come down to your forearms. Right. Find your lift, and then make your hips neutral again. So every time you do, you're getting more intensity into the quads, and you keep going. You can stretch your hands up and over. I like to pull my hip bones towards my shoulders. And you breathe. I like to hold my heels. Keep making my hips as neutral as possible, and the belly is engaged. But yet you stay here with this effort and this ease. And gently start coming up. Whew. And then come up onto your hands and knees. Extend your left foot back, or your right foot. Come to the ball of your foot and then just shift back and forth. Feel good to the calf, to your knees, to your ankles. And then the other one, just extend it back. And tuck your toes under. So we're going to actually come into our belly. So if you have that extra person with you, you can use a pillow. Just put it underneath your hips. Tuck your toes up, under, and then lift your hips. Inhale, come forward to plank pose. And then lower all the way down onto your belly. Untuck your toes. Bring your arms at the long side of your body. Press the tops of the hands into the mat. And then inhale, lift your feet and your shoulders, and then reach your fingertips back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, your hips or the neck is neutral. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, hands under the shoulders, lift up, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank pose, and lower down to your belly. Good. Bring your arms behind your back, interlace your hands. Pull your hands towards your feet, your knuckles. Lift your chest and your feet. Keep pressing the pubic bone to the mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, lower down, hands under the shoulders, lift up, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, heels back. Inhale, come forward to plank pose. Lower to your belly. Now, Shalabhasanasi. Arm comes out, so you're going to be Superman, all right? Forehead down. Inhale, lift up, and then fly. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hands under the shoulders, all right, and then keep lifting, pulling yourself forward. V variation. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Plant your feet, lift up, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank pose. Lower down to your forearms. Oh, here we go. All right, forearm plank. Hips on neutral. Pull your elbows towards your toes. Belly button in, like this, neutral. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, hip comes down, untuck your toes. So here we are, Sphinx pose. Spread your toes. And then turn your left hand in. Bend your right knee, and then take your right hand and reach for the top of the foot. All right, so you're getting this shoulder opener, and then just bring your foot in. And if you can, you will have your hand to the inside. So you're taking your thumb onto your knuckle of your big toe. All right, and then you're going to internally rotate so the elbow comes up. You're going to spin your knuckles forward. Be mindful of your shoulder here, all right? So this might not happen for everyone. You press and you try to square yourself out. Ardha Bikasana. And let it go. And then we're just going to switch. And then your left knee, reach for the foot. Maybe you flip your grip again. And then let it go. Extend your feet out. Inhale, lift up, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, and take your knees down to the mat for a moment. So if you have a pillow, block, foam roller works. All right, you're gonna take your hips. All right, so the foam roller is onto your hip bone. All right, so from here, or maybe even to your belly. All right, so this will pull me up. All right, so if you can, you will bend both knees. You're gonna reach for the top of your feet, flip your grip. All right, and this will lift you up. All right, or you don't use the foam roller and you do this on your back or you're on your pubic bone down. And we breathe 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Obviously, you could do the half as well. Let it go. Whew. Move the pillow out of the way. Return to plank pose. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, come forward to plank pose. Lower down to your belly. Untuck the toe, look straight down. Bring your arms to the long side of the body. Bend your knees, reach for your ankles or the top of the feet, Dhanurasana. Press the feet into the hands and lift up. Exhale, lower down. Extend your feet to the back of the mat, hands under the shoulders. Inhale, lift up, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come down onto the knees. All right, so we come to our last and final inversion. It can be Shishulasana, which is dolphin pose or down doggy. It can be Pincha Mayurasana, or if you want to, Rishikrashana. Okay, so scorpion pose. Okay, so again, you can use your wall. I got that. What you call it? My side here, it's a little bit hard. Right, so you will come a little bit away from your mat. Put your toes under, walk your, or the wall, and then walk your toes in. Right, you can stay lifting one leg Take your feet up to the wall, and then you can walk your toes down. So this might be where you stay. Maybe you start dropping the chest, and then bend the knees. It's too much on my elbows. And then bring your toes to the heart. At the same time, you lift your chin and then pull yourself forward like we did when we were in that little Sphinx pose, right? Or in Cobra. We pull the heart forward, we drop it down, and then you come up, okay? Or you do it in the middle. So take about, take a couple of tries, or you just stay on your forearms, strengthening and stretching your shoulders. You have all these options, or you can always take a child's pose. That's a great option too. Last inversion of the day. When you're done, come back and rest in child's pose. Make your way either through to a seat, or you come to down dog, right, and you jump through to a seat. Bend your knees and then just jump through it. Oh, here we go. I'm going to turn this way. All right, so you're just going to cross your right shin over your left and bend your knees. You're coming into figure four. All right, and try to move the right knee away from you. So you have this external rotation in your thigh. You take your hands behind you. You sit up tall. You maybe even lift your hips so you come closer towards that heel. And another deep stretch in your hip. Keep flexing. What do you call it? Your right ankle. And then lower your foot down. All right, so you just swing it to the left. All right, you're going to sit back a little bit. Take your left foot outside your right hip, and then bring your left foot in. So it's just like lining up with the left knee. Right, make sure you're pressing into the ball of your back toe with your hands behind you. Now, if you have extra people with you, twist to the left. Otherwise, you bring your left hand up with your elbow, sit up tall. Exhale, twist it over the shoulder. Inhale, look forward, let go of your twist. Take your left shin and bring it parallel to the front of the mat. So Agni Stambhasana, your right ankle come on top of your left knee. Keep flexing your foot, and you find this external rotation in your right thigh. So you come to the front side of the seatbelt. So if you look something like this and you feel something in your head, good. All right, you just stay there and you breathe through those sensations. Otherwise, you start walking your hands forward, chin to the chest. Inhale, come all the way up. So you lean to the left. Take your right foot and just bring your foot outside your right hip. All right. Again, you can take your calf muscle and you move it. All right. So your left foot will come either to the inside, so you sit like this, and then you twist to the left, or you will take your foot into that right hip crease. Try to keep both sit bones grounded, so you have an external rotation in the left thigh, and then the hand come down. You take your left hand behind, right? So you're rolling the shoulder open, so you're stretching it. So your right hand can come to the left knee. You can slide it underneath. You sit up tall, and then exhale, you twist. And inhale, look forward. Release your twist and then just extend your feet out in front of you. All right, take your left shin on top of your right thigh, bend your knee, take the hands behind you, come back into that figure four. But you move your left knee away from you. The spine is nice and tall. Back a little bit and then take your left foot to the right foot outside your left hip. And then try to line up your left foot with your right knee. So again, twist either open if you have extra people, or to the left with your elbow, sit up tall, and breathe. Inhale, look forward, and then let it go. Take your right shin parallel to the front of the mat, left foot on top, Agni Stambhasana. You sit up, you may stay, you may fold. And then come all the way up, walk your hands back, roll to the right, and take your left foot outside. So move the calf muscle out of the way, and you can sit up onto the block. So right foot either to the inside, or you're taking the foot in to your left hip crease. So you may stay there. You can wrap. So you grab your toe with your right hand. So either hold on to the knee or slide your hands underneath that knee. You sit up, exhale, twist. Inhale, look forward, and then release, let it go. And the soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And then come into a cross-seated position. Letting your hands rest onto your knees. Sit up tall, close your eyes. Back to the mantra. Today is an awesome day. Taking deep, slow breaths. Feeling your heart calming down. Your mind is nice and quiet. You know that you have all the possibilities in front of you. Take your hands to your heart, bringing the chin to the chest. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Give me the thumbs up and leave a comment if you like the class.